back to On the Fly. Just here recapping predicting the World Junior Championship, U18 Women's World, the Men's World Championship, Women's World Championship, the U18 Men's World Championship. What is happening?
It is by far one of the dumbest things I have ever seen.
Prepare to die. Figured it was better safe than sorry.
Scores! Nathan McKinnon scores for Canada.
Your home for international hockey. This is On the Fly.
And hello everybody, and welcome back to On the Fly, your home for international hockey. We got ourselves a good one today. Finland, who will take on Canada for a spot in the gold medal game. This one should be fun. You look at these two teams, just how tight they are. The Canadians and the Finns rematching after an Olympic game semifinal this past year will now meet at the Men's World Championships for gold, or for a chance at the gold medal game. Should be a great game today. We already have one game under our belt as Switzerland did take down Norway by a score of 6-0. This was an ugly game for the Swiss team, and really they dominated from start to finish. For the Norwegians, unfortunately, fell out just a little bit short on this one, and as we kind of look ahead now, the winner of this one between Finland and Canada will take on Switzerland the winner will take on Switzerland for gold, while the loser of this one between Canada and Finland will take on Norway for bronze. And so lots at stake. Both of these teams looking for gold. Coming into this tournament, they were among our big three teams, if you want to call them that. Switzerland, Finland, and Canada were your big three. Over on the Group B side, Canada was the only one of the big three. A relatively easy path to get to this point. Not to say that it was easy, but having to go through Sweden and the Czechs, both teams relatively weakened from previous years. Their hardest matchup came against Norway, where they almost lost that game, scored with just seconds left to end up forcing overtime. And in overtime, they end up getting the game-winning goal. And so for the Canadians, you would love nothing more to get this win today. Get to go out and play Switzerland for gold. It'll be a pretty tough game for them, and another game that they will enter as underdogs in. But today's game, Finland and Canada, the Finns walking in as relative favorites, and we will see whether they can get their job done today in what will be a thriller right to the very end. Should be a tremendous day of action, or tremendous game here as we finish off this great day of action. A reminder, we will still have our full tournament, or our full day recap video for the semifinal round as well. We will be live tomorrow for both the bronze and the gold medal game, starting live 10 minutes before a puck drop. So be sure to come back, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you're notified when we do go live tomorrow. And I do hope to see everyone. Hopefully, we can all watch Canada take home a gold medal together. I am well aware that the majority of our audience for this tournament is not Canadian, but still, I do hope that we can all watch a Canadian gold medal together nonetheless. If you have not already, do go vote in our poll. Currently, 33 votes registered. 55% of people think Finland will pull through with the victory today. 45% for the Canadians. As we do check in on our chat, a lot of people who are kind of in the same boat. It's difficult to predict this game, and it's gonna be a dogfight game, right? This is one of those games that really can go either way right to the end. I'm very excited to see who ends up pulling through. I do agree that with most people so far that I think the Finns have that edge, but it wouldn't surprise me either to see Canada pull through with the victory today and advance to the gold medal game, where they will look for their first gold medal of this international season. They have not won gold since back in 2025 at the Under-18 Men's World Championship. It has been a very tough ride for them since then. Quarterfinal exits at the Men's World Championship, as well at the both Olympic Games, came second, lost to the Americans. The World Juniors lost to the Czechs in the semis. The U18 Women's lost to the US in the finals. The men's under-18s lost to Sweden. They also lost to the Slovaks in the prelims, but lost to Sweden in those quarters. It's been a tough road for the Canadian national program, and we're going to get to enjoy this one go right to the very end today. It should be a tremendous game for a full 60 minutes, maybe even extra between these two. Very excited for this one as well. Of course, kind of as we shift along here through the rest of this program today, we will also talk a little bit more about that Switzerland and Norway game. Winner of the game between Canada and Finland, once again, if you are just joining us, will take on Switzerland for gold, while the loser of Canada-Finland will play Norway for bronze. Coming up tomorrow during the wee hours of the morning, not really, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time for the bronze medal. That will be at 3:30 p.m. Central European Time and 4:30 p.m. Eastern European Time. And then your gold medal game will be tomorrow as well. That one will be at 2:20 p.m. Eastern, 8:20 p.m. Central European, and 9:20 p.m. Eastern European Time. Teams are just about to go take the ice here, and this one should be a good one. Canada taking on Finland in semifinal action here at the Men's World Championships. Here we go. This should be a good one. Teams are taking the ice. Canada first to enter. We will see today which team will take on Switzerland as well, because I know we have a fair number of Swiss people watching this as well. Should be a fun game for sure. Drop your score predictions down in our chat as well. Go vote on our poll. Currently 54% people say Finland will end up pulling through with the victory today. Should be one that comes right down to the wire here. Two teams very close in skill, and we will see today who ends up pulling through with the victory. Okay, we're back to being nervous for this game again. It reminds you quite a bit of our Olympic coverage where we did get to see Canada take on Finland in that semifinal. You saw it off the intro today. Special one in there today. Canada scores. Nathan McKinnon scores for Canada. Hopefully we can have another one of those kind of results, minus that first half of the game where we saw the Canadians really struggle to get themselves going. It wouldn't surprise me, especially from what we've seen so far from this Canadian team. This first period really for the Canadians and for the Finns is going to be one of the most important 20 minutes of this entire tournament, really. You think about it, for the Canadians, a team that have started slow. They started well against the American team, but outside of that have really struggled. This game, they need to be good, especially with the Finnish team who started so hot through the entirety of this tournament outside of really their game against the Swiss. We will see today whether Team Finland can advance to the gold medal game or if Canada will be able to pull off the upset and find themselves in it. In goal for Team Canada today, Jet Greaves, starter for Canada, who's been iffy at best, but today he will look to try and send Canada to the gold medal game. For Finland, Justus Annunen in net for the Finns, a goaltender who has definitely earned his starter spot at this tournament. Korpisalo, the backup for today, didn't necessarily play all that great early on in this tournament, and so Annunen will be the starting goaltender today for Team Finland. We are just moments away from puck drop here. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you have not already. Ryan O'Reilly, Anton Lundell on the face-off dot, and the Canadians will win the opening draw. Morgan Riley skates it up to the red line, will fire it down around the boards. Back to get it is the Finns. Tavares with the puck will cycle it around back up to the point. DeMello keeps it at the line. Sends it around to Tavares. Tavares wheels. Tavares does the breaks, looks for the back feed already, unable to connect it through. As the Finns work back up ice now. Fire it around. Puck will come up and out of play. 19:30 left to go in this first period between Canada and the Finns. Oh, this is going to be a good one today. Already nervous, which means it's going to be a scary one. It's going to be a testy game for sure between these two teams, and we'll see who ends up pulling through with the victory today. Barkov line out for the Finns. Jokiharju at the point. Shot. Blocked up top by the Canadians. Cousins now works back in the other way. We'll flip it down. Cousins, Celebrini, and Crosby all playing together on their line today. Jokiharju with the puck. Passes it forward to Helenius. Helenius loses the puck. And Nurse with the puck. Shot on net. Cannot connect. Crosby's shot rebounds, comes out loose. Finns collect it and we'll move it back up ice. Hellenius shifts it up to Barkov. White Cloud, a good defensive effort there to take the puck off of Barkov. Nurse with the puck now. Will collect it for the Canadians and drop it back off to White Cloud, who will collect it behind his own net. White Cloud shifts it over to Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon, nice stretch pass there to Thomas. Scheifele with it now. Scheifele, and loses the defender. Scheifele walks in, tries to go across. Shot! Oh, and a great stop there by Ennanen. Canadians with a prime opportunity there. Holloway now with the puck. Holloway circles it around. Plays it out. Matampalo over to Mata. Mata tries to cycle along the boards. Gets broken up. Wotherspoon with it now. Passes over to Scheifele. Scheifele throws on the brakes. Turns it back up. Or across to Matejchuk. Shot blocked up top to Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon fired around deep. Matampalo. Mata. Tries to stretch it forward there. Tries to chip it in now. Mananen able to hold the line there. Bjornanen for the Finns drops back. Cycles it forward. Mirla fires it down deep, up and around. Puck comes loose. Finns now with the puck. Moves it over. Shot. Greaves. Shot. Oh, and misses just wide of the net. Rebounds loose. Shot. Oh, he missed on it. A great opportunity there for the Finns. Goes for naught as Mirla just completely whiffs on a wide open net. That should have been the Finns up on the board, but Canada fortunately gets themselves out of it. Lundell. The puck comes loose. Vakanainen. Cycle it back to his defense partner. Up come the Finns now. Lundell will dump it down deep. Humanihaho first on it for the Finns. But the Canadians are able to get the puck and move it back up ice. Heinola to Velarde. Velarde with it now. Back to Riley, moves it up ice. Here come the Canadians back the other way. Velarde loses the puck, and Finland now will break back up ice. Puistila shot, scores! We talked about it. Finland was going to get on the board first today, and sure enough, they do. Patrick Puistila for the Finns gets on the board, and Canada will trail early here today. A mistake in the neutral zone, and Greaves just completely misses it. Every time, every single year, every single tournament, every single year, it happens the exact same way. Oh, let's do it again. Let's just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And they come back in, shot. Oh my God, Barkov there. Nearly makes it 2-0 for the Finns. Fortunately, Greaves decided to actually try and use his pad. Celebrini fires it around to Cousins. Cousins. Oh my God. Heinola takes the puck, and the puck squirts out. Back up come the Finns now. Granlund gets taken down. That should be a penalty. Won't be called, though. Canadians get away with one there. Mananen tries to cycle it forward, and he will, but the puck comes out. Oh, play it, okay. Lehtinen for the Finns collects it back in his own end. Matampalo moves it up. Matejchuk, puck plays in. Thomas unable to beat the icing. That'll come back into the Canadian end. Here we go again. Is everyone ready? We've seen this one before. We've seen it before. Does that get tipped? Please tell me this gets tipped. Or does Greaves just completely misses it? Oh my goodness gracious. This is terrible. This team is actually terrible. Thomas lines up in the face-off dot. The Finns win back the draw. Mata drops it back off, slides it over. Sarjärvi shot from distance, looking for a tip in front, won't get one. Puck will be moved in. Back over to Sarjärvi, takes it, moves it forward. Throws on the brakes, fires it around. Holloway drops it back off to Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon with the puck. Takes it behind the Canadian net, and he will reset it. Wotherspoon slowly skates up the ice, gets to the red line, shoots it, and will fire it around. Heinola moves over to Vakanainen. Oh, and a nice poke check there by Martone. Martone with the puck with Brown. Puck lost. Riley now over to Martone. Martone throws on the brakes, takes it. The puck throws it back up to the point to Riley. Riley can't keep it at the line. And that'll be ruled intentional offside and come all the way back down into the Canadian end. Not a great start for this Canadian team so far. Find themselves down a goal. And outside of kind of that opening flurry, haven't been able to generate all that much in the offensive end. They're actually going to lose this game today. I know that they're underdogs, and I get that. But, there was a part of me that actually thought they'd be able to pull through with a victory. O'Reilly wins the faceoff draw back. Tavares loses the puck. Back come the Finns. Moves it forward. Barkov gets tied up. Now back to O'Reilly. O'Reilly will flip it in and go and chase it. Lehtinen back for the Finns. Takes it. Back up come Finland. Not allowing much so far. Barkov with the puck. Works in on Nurse. Whitecloud gets hit up. Shot from long distance blocked up high. Moves it forward. Velarde cycles it down to Darnell Nurse. Nurse flings it around. Madanpalo over to Jokiharju. Sends it down. Crosby over to Cousins. He'll tip it in. A lot of dump and chase hockey so far. Crosby back up to the point to DeMello. DeMello down to Crosby. Crosby tries to feed it over to Cousins, who is in front of the net. No one there. Riley with it now. Drops it off for Crosby. Crosby passes it off to Celebrini. Celebrini feeds it forward, but no one there. Celebrini still with the puck. Will drop it off for Crosby. Crosby down to Cousins. Works behind the net. Back up to the point to DeMello. Tries to give it to Riley, who fans on the puck. Get this guy off the ice. Puck comes flipped over and out into neutral ice. Tayachuk back for, or DeMello rather, back for this Canadian team. Tries to send it forward. Vakanainen able to keep that in. Bjornanen tries to feed it forward. Wotherspoon picks it up now for Canada. Cycle it forward. But the Finns able to pick up the puck again. Puck will be dumped down into the Canadian end. Mirla now with the puck. Tries to get it over to Scheifele. And the puck comes up and out of play. 12:21 left to go in this first period. Hey, just tuned in, love your videos. What did I miss today? Can you recap? So you missed an absolute domination in the first game. Switzerland took care of business against Norway. And then right now, Finland currently up 1-0 over Canada. Patrick Puistola for the Finns got on the board first. And so we'll see now for this Canadian team what the answer back is going to be. They've trailed in quite a few of their games, so not exactly uncharted territory for them. But for this Finnish team, right where they want to be, they've led in every game that they've won. Just kind of a really dumb thing to say now that I say it out loud. But this Finnish team is a good team, so we'll see if they can hold on today. Definitely the kind of start we were anticipating, especially for a team like Finland who is so effective in their own end and who is so good at kind of shutting the door when those opportunities come. It's not a great spot for a team like Canada to be in. We'll see if they can kind of figure it out as we go along here, but Out of all the starts we could have had, this is probably one of the worst ones for this Canadian team. So we're just about back here from our power break. Scheifele, I believe, talking with the ref, will be Robert Thomas lining up against Anton Lundell in the face-off dot. Every single year, we do the same thing every single time. You lose the lead early. You then can't come back. Or maybe you do. Or maybe you make it interesting. And then you lose. Every single time. Every time. Okay. I'm on. Robert Thomas lines up against Anton Lundell. Lundell walks shot. Good save there by Greaves. Figured out how to use his glove. Surprise, surprise. Iihf with that shot. Not surprised Finland is good. I'm not either. Not surprised either. Hello from North Macedonia. Look at that. How are we losing? I mean, to be fair, and we talked about this in our preview, like, Canada is the underdog in this game, but still, like, come on. Please. Vaakanainen shot from long distance. Turned aside. Matejchuk. First on it down there. Works back in. Holloway with it now. Cycle it forward. Tries to get to Scheifele. Can't. Wotherspoon with the puck now. Works over the line. Robert Thomas over to Holloway. Holloway shot from long distance. Cleared out by Annunen. Turnover there. Iihf gets worked over. Can't quite find it through. Sorry, Järvi. Over to Vaakanainen. Puck cleared. Kept in. Scheifele gets it over to Thomas. Shot from long distance. Rebound loose. Scores! Robert Thomas makes it 1-1. Canada gets on the board. And we're all tied at 1. A turnover in the finish end leads to Robert Thomas batting it home on the rebound. Canada won. Finland won. Come on. This team still drives me up the wall. Hits off of Holloway's basically face. Matejchuk shot from the point, tips up, hits Holloway in the throat. Is this going to be goaltender interference, though? That's the question. No, I'm kidding. There's no goaltender interference here. Annunen just gets backed into by Holloway, and Thomas slides it home. Canada won. Finland won. Wow. Here we go. And now the game gets interesting. Heinola works down low. Helenius over to Barkov. Barkov was in the slot area. Could not get the shot off, though. Jokiharju cycles it around. Passes it over. Heinola over to Granlund. Granlund with the puck. Nearly skirts out there, but Emmett Finney back for Canada to get the puck. Jokiharju works over to Heinola. Heinola back to Jokiharju. Yes, this chat is feeling exactly how I'm feeling right now, which I'm kind of surprised about. Lehtinen tries to feed it forward. DeMello over to Riley. Riley kicks it around. Back up come the Canadians now. Puljujärvi kept in at the line by DeMello. This is getting interesting. Yeah, yes it is. And whistle there. Not sure what they're calling. Canada ties the game at 1 on a weird play that bounces up and around, shot from long distance, rebound kind of skirts out, and sure enough, Robert Thomas there to bat it in for the Canadians. Out of the air, too. Nice play. Canada won, Finland won. A reminder that the winner will take on Switzerland for the gold medal. The loser will play Norway for bronze tomorrow. Sam Dickinson, newly added to Canada's roster after Evan Bouchard is out for the tournament now with a concussion. Valerdi with the puck. Moves it over. Manapalo. Puck kind of skirts out. That should go the length of the ice for icing. It will. 10:14 left to go now in this first period. Here we go. Feels like it's a third period already, and we're only like, we're not even 10 minutes into this first period yet. What a game already, exactly. This has gold medal feel all over it, which is crazy to think. But like, I mean, obviously the winner will play for gold, which that helps. But these two teams were always going to be a fighter at the end of this tournament. Celebrini shot from long distance, blocked up high. To Cousins with the puck. We'll cycle it back around. 10 minutes now to play in the first period. We're a sixth of the way on. Taken down there. Will that be a call? That will be a call, maybe. No, maybe not. Power break we'll head to. 9:55 left to go. Crosby complaining to the official. Watching in Europe and our transition is like 2 minutes faster. It's funny knowing what you'll see in a second. That's fair. I know that the stream does work on a bit of a delay. And so I know that, typically we will actually see this stuff at roughly the same time by the time most people end up commenting. But I know the stream, I think it's a minute delay is what the difference between the actual clock, like when it's actually playing out, and the viewers. So, but we'll see. Bouchard hopes okay. Yeah, it was an ugly one. Just got absolutely laid out on that one big hit, and then, I mean, when you go down like that and your head hits the ice, it's never a good sign. So, hopefully he'll be okay. Sounds like he'll be all right. It's a concussion, so hopefully he'll be okay for sure. Finland's a really good team. Switzerland's also scary. I'm happy to see this be a toss-up for sure. And I think for the Canadians too, I mean, they're coming in as underdogs, right? Like that's fairly accepted, I'd say, especially with how good this Finnish team is and has been at this tournament. But we'll see how it kind of continues to shake out here. Celebrini in the dot. Barkov for the Finns. Nurse shot from long distance, looking for a tip. Unable to find it through. 9:51 left to go in the period. Celebrini. Scramble draw. Cousins with it. Slides it forward. Crosby nearly puts it home. Hellenius cycles it around. Granlund shot. Rebound. Oh, and a nice comeback save there from Cousins to take that puck from being knocked into the net. Kept in at the line. Turnover. Barkov with it. Cycles it back. Throws it. Tries to hit his guy. Here comes Celebrini now. Celebrini works in. Throws on the brakes. Passes it over to Nurse. Nurse shot! Where's the puck? Oh, and Annunen has it. Looked like there might have been a rebound loose. But no go. And this game remains tied 1-1. Oh, Crosby nearly got Annunen to bite there. If he would have moved it all off that post, it would have been in. But staying strong on that post, as you kind of need to do. Currently looking in at our poll, 71 votes registered. 61% say Finland will end up pulling through with the victory. 39% for the Canadians. If you are new here, please do hit the like button and subscribe. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers now here on YouTube. So please, 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 if you have not already, do smash that subscribe button. Thomas now works in for the Canadians. Passes it around. Sends it over to Scheifele. Scheifele with it. Gives it off to Holloway. Holloway and Thomas work down on Vaakanainen, and stick comes up. Heinola takes one in the face. No call, though. Scheifele with it. Work around the boards. Scheifele drops it back to Thomas. Thomas with it now. Thomas passes it over. Taychuk. Over to Wotherspoon. Shot from long distance. Tipped in front. And covered up there. And a little bit of extracurricular after the whistle. Is that his own guy's stick, or was it Thomas's stick? I feel like that might have been... that was Thomas's stick. Canada got away with another penalty call there. There's been a few of those so far in this game. Feels like they're not going to be calling much, understanding the stakes that are in this one, which I don't mind, but we'll see. Minton in the face-off dot. Scramble draw. Iihf with the puck. Drops it out. DeMello fires it around to Lehtinen. Lehtinen moves it around. Pushes it forward. DeMello with it. DeMello fires it around the boards. Tries to drop it off to Martone. Lindell works it over to Jokiharju. Jokiharju works in for the Finns. Iihf shot. Deflection. Close there. Puistila passes it off to Iihf. Shot from long distance blocked out front. This might go to OT. Yeah. It would not surprise me in the slightest to see this game go to overtime. Wotherspoon fires it around over to Lehtinen. Lehtinen drops it off to Jokiharju. Jokiharju with the puck. Start to skate up with it. Feeds it forward. Shoots it around. Greaves out to play it. Ratu throws it out front. Goaltenders tend the goal, please. Ryan O'Reilly flips it out. Over to Tavares. To Mata. Puljujarvi now pushes it back up to neutral ice. Tavares now works in for the Canadians. Fires it down to the corner. O'Reilly over to Velarde. Velarde with it. Cycles it back around. Takes it forward. Drops it back off. The Canadians now will collect it. Darnell Nurse with the puck will fire it down deep. Rims it around the boards over to Barkov. Nice hit there. Over to Hellenius now. Hellenius works in. Granlund with the puck. Shot. Turned aside. Plays up. Crosby drops off to Celebrini. Celebrini and the Canadians now try and work in. But Barkov, a nice defensive effort there to take it away at the blue line. Barkov throws on the brakes. Turns. Drops it back. Moves it over to Jokiharju. To Barkov. Barkov with a little bit of room. Looks for a backdoor feed. Can't quite find it through. Jokiharju flips it out. And that will not go the length of the ice for icing. Heinola back now for the Finns. Heinola skates out with it. Over to Bjornanen. Over to Mirala. Mirala with the puck. Fires it down to DeMello. Now Celebrini with it. Celebrini will flip it out. Holloway with the puck. Holloway shoots. Scores! Holloway scores for Canada to make it 2-1. Canada's taken the lead. Dylan Holloway for Canada makes it 2-1. And Annunen, very similar to Greaves, just lets one in. Oh, and Canada takes the lead in this one. Canada 2, Finland 1. Oh, might actually do this. Okay, now it's dangerous time for the Canadian team. Can they hold on to a lead? We're worried about them blowing this game, having to come back in this game. Now we got to worry about them blowing it, which is one of my least favorite things to worry about for this Canadian team because they are so good at it. Fires it up and around. It's off the glass. Will be played outward. 5:22 left to go in the first period. Canada is now leading 2-1 over Team Finland. Wow, what a start. We were talking about this a few minutes earlier and about how this game feels an awful lot like the, what game was it? Like a gold medal game, right? Like it has that feel to it where it's every chance just becomes so important. Every goal swings momentum from one side to the other. And it's like every single play, just every fine detail becomes so important in these games. Canada finding themselves up early so far in this one. They lead 2-1 over Team Finland. Just under 6 to play. Wow. What a change of pace over the last few minutes. Felt like they were about to absolutely blow it here. But fortunately they don't, which is lovely. But Canada 2, Finland 1. Wow. What a game. This is gonna be a crazy game right to the end. Yo, I missed the Switzerland game. Had to watch it with the fam. Well, thank you for joining us for this one. It wasn't an overly entertaining game. I wouldn't say Switzerland blew the daylights out of the Norwegians. This game has been a little bit more exciting, especially early on in this one. We'll see kind of how it continues to shape out to be as this one does go along. 5:15 left to go in the first period. Canada still leads 2-1. And they will look to try and hold on to this lead now. That last goal, Dylan Holloway assisted from Macklin Celebrini and Dylan DeMello. We'll see what the response is here from Team Finland. They'll work in. Shoots it down and around the boards to Riley now. Riley stretch pass, looking for Scheifele. Unable to hit him. That will go the length of the ice for icing. Scheifele bumping Helenius. Not overly happy about that. Face-off draw. In the Canadian end. Helenius lines up against Thomas. Face-off won by the Canadians. And Riley now will skate up with it. Over to Holloway. Over to Scheifele. Scheifele shot! Turned away by Annunen. Moves it forward. Barkov with the puck. Barkov skates in with it. Barkov back to the point. Can't find it through. Sorry, RV. Over to Granlund. Shot. Good stick there by Nurse to knock to the corner. Brown with it. Flips it up. Over to Finney. Sarjärvi now with it for Team Finland. As a bit of a lazy change there. Nearly came back to bite them. Moves it forward. Shot down in the corner. White Cloud. Reverse hit there. Nice one. Finney. Over to Puljujarvi. Puljujarvi with it now. Skates. White Cloud with it. Over to Connor Brown. Oh, what a nice play there. Ratu shot. Misses wide of the net. So start to work in now. Vakanainen with the puck. Tries to move it forward. Manninen shifts it back. The Finns now will collect it in their own end. Heinola over to Vakanainen. Moves it forward. That's offside. Looking for a backdoor feed and will be ruled offside. And we'll go to another power break by the looks of things here. Let's see how it shakes out for the Canadians and the Finns, shall we? We shall. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this game for quite a while, actually. Ever since the quarterfinal, well, really since the playoff matchups were set, and it did look like Canada would end up playing Finland in the semifinal. It's going to be a tremendous one here between these two teams. Moves it over. Lehtinen. Fire it down and around the board. Sam Dickinson back for the Canadians. Throws on the brakes. Gives it away. Jokiharju shot from long distance. Turned aside. Tavares now with the puck. Tavares throws it across the ice, but unable to connect with his own guy, and that puck will be reclaimed by Team Finland. Lehtinen back for the Finns. Mikko Lehtinen skate up with it now. Moves it on over. Shots on goal to this point, 11-8. Cycles it over to the point. Shot! Rebounds loose! Where is it? And Greaves able to stay tall for now. Lundell moves it back over. A lot of pressure here by the Finns, but the puck will come out. Jokiharju with the puck collects it for Team Finland. Jokiharju looks up ice. Moves it over to Pustola, who already has one in this game. Patrick Pustola now with the puck. Continues to work through. Helenius with the puck for the Finns. Helenius gets tied up in the corner by Wotherspoon and Matejchuk. will take it up ice. Then to Matejchuk. Drops it off to Cousins. Cousins works in. Slides down to Matejchuk. Over to Celebrini. Celebrini wheels it around the net. Oh, nice hit there by Paulo to separate body from puck. Hellenius now. And taken down. That should be a call, and it will be. Canada, I believe, will head to the power play here. I'm not sure what they're calling, but I disagree. Whatever it was called. That's definitely a weaker call, but Canada should head to the power play here. We'll see if they can get on the board for a third time. Huge opportunity here emerging for the Canadian team. Can they capitalize on the power play opportunity? Oh, and Lundell had the wide open net on Greaves as Greaves was sliding the wrong way. Who would have thunk? Hellenius in the penalty box. Canada will go. Thank you for subscribing. Canada will head to the power play. O'Reilly cycles it back. Pushes it over. Celebrini. Works over to O'Reilly. O'Reilly now turns the corner to Celebrini. Celebrini shot. Rebound. Unable to find it through. That puck will be kicked out the length of the ice. Canada will have the power play for the remainder of this period. They'll get 5 seconds after it. O'Reilly with it. Tries to feed it out. Puck will come all the way down the ice. Canada struggling to get much going on this power play to this point. Matejchuk with the puck now for Canada. Will drop it back. Crosby now with it. Crosby tries to fling it across and whiffs on it. The Canadians will have to wait. Celebrini tags back up. And the puck will be rimmed around and shot. Matejchuk, nice keeping at the line though. Matejchuk gets worked over in the corner, calling for a penalty. Will not get one. Final minute of play here in this first period. Canada still leading 2-1. 55 seconds left to go as the puck is flinged down the length of the ice. Riley now. Oh, our savior Morgan Riley with the puck. Drops it back off to Holloway. Holloway to Tavares. Tavares down to Dylan Holloway. Tries to fire it around. Puck will be cleared the length of the ice. 30 seconds now to go. Nothing doing on this Canadian power play. And again, takes it, fires it. And that is another 10-15 seconds. Greaves goes to try and play the puck. Riley now moves it up to Holloway. And loses the puck. Riley with it now. One final chance for Canada, as he'll just rim it around with seconds left to go. That'll do it for our first period. Canada 2, Finland 1 after 20 minutes of play. We talked about it coming off the intro. The most important part for Canada in this game was going to be what they could do in the first 20 minutes. And, they've done okay. Where is it? There. They've done okay. 2-1 your score after 20 minutes of play. Canada leading 2-1. Right where they want to be as we head in to our first intermission report after what has been a pretty big day so far. I think the Swiss will return to the gold medal game for their third straight year. This time it will be on home ice where they will look to take home the gold medal at this tournament. We will see whether or not they can. If there was no Canada, who would you cheer for, Finland or Switzerland? I'd just cheer for a good game. Those are two tremendous teams. There's not really one that I'd say I favor in either side. I like them both. I don't think there's anything wrong with either one that would make me dislike them. So, and I know it's not a great answer, probably the one you're looking for, but I would say I'd cheer for both teams, honestly. As long as it's a good tight game to the very end. I'm cheering for overtime at that point because that would be a tremendous end to an otherwise tremendous tournament, especially with all the upsets we've seen to this point. We'll see whether that ends up being that gold medal matchup, but as for right now, Canada currently leading 2-1 over Team Finland through the opening 20 minutes of play. Very nice to see for the Canadians. If you are new here, please do smash that like button, hit subscribe. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and every subscriber, like, comment, it all helps. So please, 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 if you have not already, do all of those things. would mean a ton. But it has been quite the day so far. A reminder that between Switzerland and Norway, the winner of this game between Canada and Finland will go on to play Switzerland for gold tomorrow. The loser will go and play Norway for bronze. It's going to be exciting. And you think about the way that this tournament has gone. Well, I mean, kind of walk through all of these different teams as well. If you do have any questions you want answered, be sure to leave those in the chat below. We'll answer those, as always, on our first intermission program. But think about each of the paths to get here for the Finns. It was a relatively calm tournament. Not a whole lot of surprises for the Finns. That was a really awakening game, I think, for them when they went against Switzerland and all of a sudden, of course, ended up losing that game. Coming into this one against the Canadians, we'll see what they learned from that game, especially kind of, you think about that issue that they had with the Swiss where they couldn't really get that extra goal they needed. We'll see if they're going to be able to break through in this game. We'll see what kind of lessons they may have learned coming into a really tough game here. Should be exciting for sure. For Canada, this game, I mean, we've seen them go up and down. We've seen them start extremely cold. I mean, we'll see. Right? And I mean, for the Canadians, this tournament has been up and down, and the results, I'd say, are a little bit misleading, especially with the way that they've played, because we were live for the Denmark game where they nearly lost to that Norwegian, or they nearly lost to Norway, they nearly lost to Denmark, they nearly lost to a few different teams throughout this entire tournament. Fortunately, they end up pulling through with the victory, but so many games here that you look at and you wonder, well, I mean, you're going to make it interesting. Yes, you'll learn stuff along the way, and I think we're going to see it in this game in particular, how Canada responds when they're leading and if they're going to be able to kind of shut the door like we saw them do against the U.S. And so the fact that they're leading through that opening period, especially after going down with the first goal, does make me excited. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes for Switzerland. I mean, this tournament has been dominant since the very start. A perfect 9-0. No games went to overtime or a shootout. They will look to make it the perfect 10-0 coming into their next game. And I'm trying to remember if they still have that big bonus thing. I think it was $1 million for the $1 million prize. If you go perfect at this tournament, win all your games in regulation. I remember they did that for one of the men's world championships. But I'm just kind of curious about that now. I know that it got brought up at one point, but the team jackpot. So it was called the In-Front Team Jackpot. I'm not sure if it's still around or not. But let's see. Yes, the In-Front Team Jackpot is still active for this tournament. And so if Switzerland ends up winning tomorrow, then they will win the million Swiss francs for this tournament. So we'll see how it ends up going. But for the Swiss, a big deal for them. They might be walking away with a bigger winner than what they originally thought. The perfect 10-0 record, or 10-0-0-0 or 10-0-0-0 record at this tournament. We'll see whether or not they can end up doing it here. But this game, or in Norway as well, I mean, Norway kind of goes without saying what kind of tournament they put together. They started with a really impressive game over the Slovaks, and I remember we spent quite a bit of time on that game in that preview. Where like, this team might be a legit team. After seeing them on the ice, they've only got better. They've added some reinforcements, and now we're going to see what they can do when the stage gets biggest. Very excited to see what happens in their game. Switzerland or Norway will take on the loser here of Canada and Finland. But we'll answer some of your live questions, so be sure to drop yours in the chat if you do have questions you would like to see answered here. Did you see the Norway-Switzerland coaches beefing at the end? I did. I thought that was hilarious. I really enjoyed the one, and I mean, both coaches were kind of going back and forth. You had the Norwegian coach going like this, telling him that he was talking too much, and you just had the Swiss coach just pointing at the scoreboard. And it wasn't like he was chirping back. It was a simple point, and he made his point there. And I thought that was pretty funny. Just how kind of calm tends to win those types of arguments, especially when it does get a little bit more heated than probably what it should have been. If there was no counter, that one. Thoughts on Norway for tomorrow's bronze game? I would say that if they go up against Canada, they do have a decent shot. And we've seen them, obviously we've seen Canada and Norway already play at this tournament. The Norwegians nearly, the Norwegians nearly took home the win there. But Canada rallied back in a big way. And I think you see what this game is going to be if Canada does end up rematching. If Finland plays Norway, I would expect the Finns not to have too much of a problem with it. We tend to see the Finns do extremely well against a team like Norway, or kind of a weaker team like the Norwegians would be. The Finns typically kind of take care of business. They struggle a little bit more with the better teams, but especially with the way that they play, they're very defensively minded. They're very sound. I don't suspect that Norway will have much of a chance against the Finns. However, the Canadians, I could very well see the potential for an upset there. The Canadian team has issues in the past, and I hope they learn from those issues where you have to start on time, because if you don't, you're going to lose against Norway. You're going to lose against the Finns. Fortunately, they found their way back in this game, but it's each and every time you start to look at it and say, well, here we go again. Are we going to do the same thing again? Because you just don't know. And I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it kind of shakes out to be. But as of right now, Canada currently in the lead 2-1 over the Finns as they look to try and make their way into the playoff round the gold medal game at this tournament. The loser will be sent to bronze and take on Norway, where we'll see if Norway can pull off one last big upset at this tournament and find themselves in the medal category. Their first ever, I might add, at the Iihf, which would be interesting, especially for a team like Norway, who is so historical is not the right word, but who has been extremely good in the past. Kind of surprising to see them not get themselves on the board. So we'll see. We'll see how it ends up shaking out to be. But Canada and Finland, a big game coming in here. How do you feel about Canada losing to Finland and Norway? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Touche. Touche. It wouldn't surprise me either, which is the funny part of that. Like, obviously, I assume you're kind of joking about that, but it honestly wouldn't even surprise me to see Canada lose both games, because the Canadian team this tournament has definitely performed to expectations in the scoreboard. They have well underperformed in the actual gameplay. Like, outside of their game today and outside of their game yesterday against the U.S., or 2 days ago against the U.S., I haven't thought they played all that great of a tournament. And, I mean, there's expectations on any Canadian team. That's not new. That's always kind of been there. But I just think that you look at the way that they've played throughout this entire tournament. They've allowed teams that shouldn't be contending with them to end up contending with them. You have them really struggling to get much going early on in games, which is a huge issue. And so, I mean, we'll see, right? And it's part of the beauty is that you never know what ends up shaking out to be. But for the Canadian team, I am wicked excited to see what they can pull off here. If they can go for gold, I mean, it's just an underdog story. And to be honest, I feel like the Canadian team, after being favorited at so many tournaments this year, kind of needs that underdog mentality to end up taking a game like this, or taking a tournament like this, especially going up against a good Swiss team on home ice. We'll see whether or not they can pull it off, but I'm not too sure. We love some good... if the gold medal game has no Canada, I'll just cheer for a good game. Yep, me as well. We love some good hockey games regardless of the outcome. Absolutely. And it's just, like, I always like to say that any good hockey is gold medal hockey, because every gold medal game tends to be pretty close. Like, even this year, you think about it. I mean, the Swedes and the Slovaks, the U18 men's wasn't a great game, but the Slovaks made it interesting late. And then the Sweden and Czech game for the World Juniors was another game that wasn't all that great, but then the Czechs made it interesting. And every game in the gold medal, you're waiting for it to get interesting because you know it's coming. And this game here, Canada and Finland, kind of reminds you a lot of that gold medal game, because you know it's going to be really tight right up until the very end. So we'll see how it ends up shaking out today. I'm really excited for this conclusion of this game. And I mean, also the second period, which is quickly approaching, but it is going to be a dogfight type of game right to the very end here. Should be exciting for sure. In 2015, Canada went to 10-0-0-0-0 and won a bonus of 1 million Swiss francs, 1.3 million Canadian at the time after looking it up. No one has won it since. Finland came one win away in 2016 but lost to Canada. In 2019, Russia was 8-0-0-0 going into the semifinals but lost to Finland. Last country to enter the medal round, 7-0-0-0, was Sweden back in 2024. And so Switzerland tomorrow will have the chance to do the perfect tournament, whatever you want to call it, and go 10-0-0-0 at this tournament. We'll see if they can do it. Should be exciting. I'm so pumped for this game. I cannot wait. Whoever they play, whether it be like Switzerland on home ice for a gold medal, that's what you write about in stories. Like that is just such a fitting end to this tournament. Whether they win or lose, and obviously you'd like to see them win, but if they lose, I mean, after such a great tournament, all tournament long, you feel like they have something coming. And whether it be adversity, whatever it might be, they haven't really faced all that much yet at this tournament, outside of kind of their opening frame, early parts against the Swedes. But even that, it was like you knew they were going to come back in. And so when they go up against Canada or Finland tomorrow, whoever wins this game, we'll see what happens when they face adversity, because you know they will at some point. And then it's a matter of how do they respond, because the Swiss are a good team. They have a lot of really good players, but they haven't exactly been tested yet at this tournament because they've walked through every team they've played. So we'll see. It'll be exciting. I'd give Switzerland like a 75% chance to win gold and 25% to both Finland and Canada. That's fair, I'd say so. Like, I would say that it's probably a little closer to 60-40. This game, like the game that they're going to play, is such a coin flip type of game that it still could go either way, right? And just because a team like the Swiss have momentum, they're on home ice, they're a good team. Teams like Canada and Finland also are very, what we like to call, professional teams, where they know how to take crowds out of games. They know how to play that near perfect road game, if you will. And so you go up against a team like Canada, that is what you go up against a team like Switzerland, who is so kind of momentum-ridden team throughout this entire tournament. Because one of the things we always like to say is, as much as home crowd can be an advantage, it can also be a disadvantage, especially in these types of games where if you struggle to get much going, if you have defensive meltdowns, your crowd can get on you. And as much as it's always an advantage to kind of play in your own home place, your home crowd, it can also be a bit of a disadvantage. So I wouldn't necessarily put as much emphasis on the home ice part, because it can be an advantage. It can also be a disadvantage, especially when you go into a game like the gold medal. But it would be so special to see a team like Canada, or a team like Switzerland rather, pull through with the gold medal at this tournament, especially on home ice. Kind of reminds you a little bit of that Czech run back in 2024. That was a special tournament as well. And then the U.S., of course, won it last year, but they're first in a very long time as well, so 93 years, I think it was. So, I mean, you look at it, right? Like this is the kind of moment that you look to for a lot of these players that they will remember for the rest of their lives. It's a home crowd game. You are expected to be a competitive team in it, and we'll see if they can pull through with the victory today. But or tomorrow, I guess, not today. It can't be tomorrow yet. We got to get through this Canada-Finland game first, which is going to probably put my blood pressure through the roof here, because we get to that point, especially when it comes to like the second, third period. Well, third period in particular, it gets especially nerve-wracking. But, I mean, this tournament has been so up and down for Canada. Like, I am terrified. And we were live, once again, for those just joining us, we were live for the Nathan McKinnon last 30 seconds left to go goal when Canada beat Finland in the semifinals of the Olympic Games this past year. And that was a crazy one too, where it was like, ooh, are they going to pull through with the victory? And, Finland goes up 2, and you're like, okay, here we go. Kind of similar to today. Finland gets on the board first, and you're like, here we go again. Unfortunately, Canada gets a couple goals in there. They tie the game. They get that power play late, and they end up putting it through. And so now we'll see, is Cam Talbot a net for the Canadian team? What happened here? Uh-oh, that can't be good. Oh, no, there he is. Jet Greaves late arriving to the ice, but he will be good to go. Kind of a scary play, scary one there. I thought Talbot might have been going in net for the Canadian team, and the only thing worse than Jet Greaves is Cam Talbot. Oh my goodness, that would be an absolute travesty. But we'll see how it ends up going here. We're about to get back underway for second period action here between Canada and Finland. Puck is just about to drop. And we will see who ends up pulling through on top here. As the net is currently off on the Finnish side, they're calling the ice crew back out to try and figure this thing out. As we're going to have to wait at least a little bit longer for the second period to kick back underway. But we are just about back for second period action now between Finland and Canada. We will see who can pull through with the victory today. The Canadians looking to return to the gold medal game for this Finnish team. Their first semifinal appearance since, I believe, 2022. Could be 23. It's been quite a ways for them. Of course, you think about all those years where Canada and the Finns went head against each other for the gold medal, and we're seeing them now in the semis. As we are just about back underway, puck has dropped. Celebrini and Barkov in the dot. Canada comes away with the puck. Cousins will rim it around the boards. Passes it over to Celebrini. Gets tied up down low over to Barkov. Moves it over to Crosby. Puck comes up and out of play. That'll be flipped over the glass. And so we'll see here for the Canadian team, especially now you start to look at it, they need to start playing a little bit more on the defensive side as the power play has come to an end for the Canadian team as well. You want to make sure that you aren't giving a team like the Finns any opportunities here. Jokiharju flings it down. That'll go the length of the ice for icing. 19:36 left to go now in this second period. If you are new here, please do smash the like button, hit subscribe. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers here on YouTube. As well, go and fill out our poll. Let me know who you think is going to win. 53% of people say Finland will pull through on top, while 47% say the Canadians. So the puck gets moved in. Cousins with it. Moves it forward. Barkov with the puck. Barkov passes it forward to Lenius. Over to Barkov, back to Lenius. Oh, nice pass there to Lennon. Shot, rebound, jam play, scores. Alexander Barkov makes it 2-2. Good grief. Finland 2, Canada 2, and just like how we were talking about Canada learning stuff from their last game, it appears that they've forgotten all of it and chucked it out the window as a defensive breakdown. No one there to defend. What is this team doing? You have Whitecloud, who's not playing defense on neither Barkov nor Granlund, and Greaves is sliding this way when the puck is this way. Oh my God, this team is so bad. And they're back to being absolutely, utterly useless. Useless. terrible. 19 or 18:50 left to go now in the second period as the Finns break it back up ice. Lundell's shot. Oh, Greaves made a save. Good for him. Good for you, man. We're all so proud of you. Hemiaho with the puck. Gives it over to Riley. And Morgan, guess what? Morgan Riley coughs up another puck. Oh. Let's do it again. Oh, he did it again. Morgan Riley coughs up another puck. Death, taxes, and Morgan Riley coughing up pucks to the other team. Shot forward. Mata moves it around. Pulviarvi cycles it around. Mananen ties up there. And Velarde goes for a leisurely skate there. And taken down is Mata. Oh no, comes out Mananen, Pulviarvi, but the Canadians will pick it up and work it back up ice. O'Reilly will flip it down and dump it. Lehtinen back on it for the Finns. O'Reilly able to put on a good forecheck there, though. Puck foot's flipped up and over into neutral zone. Scheifele with it. Tries to feed it forward. That'll go the length of the ice for icing. 17:26 left to go in the period. I just don't understand how you can have that much of a breakdown defensively. Like, you have two of their best players just completely unmarked in front of the net. Like, what are you doing? White Cloud over to Wotherspoon rather, Matejchuk. Back to Holloway. We'll move it up to neutral ice. And the Finns will collect it. Barkov shoots it from a low angle. Holloway throws on the brakes, feeds it over to Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon takes the puck. Cycle it back up ice. Moves it over. Come on. Holloway shot. And then with a easy glove save. Not very high quality there, if I do say so myself. It's not looking good for this Canadian team now. Trying to hold on as best they can as this Finnish surge continues. So let's put out Connor Brown. I actually really like that decision. Fraser Minton against Bjornanen. Bjornanen wins the face-off draw for the Finns. Heinola works it back. The Finns now try and work back in. Kept down to the line here. Connor Brown over to Martone. Martone will flip it down deep. Heinola. Oh, and Martone Minton nearly clips the skate of the Finnish defender. Would have been a 5-minute major for sure. Sam Dickinson gets knocked into the boards. Maryland. Taken by the Finns. Cycles up to the top. Joki Harju with the puck. Over to Bjornanen. Bjornanen with it now. Holds on to it. Hemiaho. And the Canadians will collect it back in their own end, but lose it. Turnover again. Takes it. Shot. Greaves with a nice shoulder save there. Could have been bad. From the point, Vakanainen shot. Lots of traffic out front. Canadians first on it, but give it right back to the Finns. Been the issue. Hemiaho works in, passes it forward, looks for the jam play. But Greaves able to make that stop, and a nice one there. That could have been bad. But a nice stop there by Greaves. He'll cover up. Puistila looking for his second of the game. Ratu wins the face-off draw. Back to Vakanainen. Shot from long distance. Turned aside by Greaves. Wotherspoon takes it. Passes it over to Ratu. Moves it along. Back up come the Canadians. Cousins ties up with Vakanainen. Just cycle around. Over to Wotherspoon. He'll pass it down to Crosby. Crosby moves it up, turns it forward to the front. Won't be able to hit him. 15:10 left to go now in the second period. Canada and Finland tied 2 goals apiece. The Canadians will try and work back in. Dickinson gets tied, or Matejchuk rather, gets tied up. Whitecloud tries to move it along. Mata. Rebound. Oh, and a nice save there by Jet Greaves. Whew. Good stop there by the Canadian goaltender. After letting in, probably one of the easier shots of this game, Greaves has been pretty good. Oh, nice stop there on Hellenius. I guess he wasn't able to get too much on it, but still. Good attempt there to come across. Barkov, Granlund, Hellenius for the Finns. O'Reilly's line for the Canadians. Puck kept in. Granlund knocked over. No call coming. Looking for one, though. Connor Brown with the puck. Chips it in. Mata with Hellenius. Hellenius ties up along the boards with O'Reilly with the puck squirts out. And now the Finns will work back in. Granlund shoots it down low. Shots on goal so far in the second period. 5-1 in favor of Team Finland. Tavares now for the Canadians will cycle in, dump it down deep. The Canadians will go and chase Mata. Pass it along the boards to Barkov. Hellenius throws on the brakes. Starts to look up ice. Lehtinen over to Granlund. Granlund tries the high saucer pass over to Hellenius, but cannot get it through. Puck will be shot down. Will not go the length of the ice for icing. Tavares gets tied up, and back up come the Finns. Lundell leading the rush here. Hamiaho makes a move, shot, looking for the rebound chance. Back up to the point, Lehtinen shot with traffic in front, but unable to get it to the net. Holloway for Canada now will move it up ice. That should be a hook. Holloway with the puck, works around behind the net. Holloway back up to the point, shot. Dickinson misses wide of the net. To Whitecloud. Whitecloud passes it around the boards. And Thomas tripped up. There will not be a call, though. And a weird carom there off the boards. Thomas now with the puck again. Jokiharju fires it around the boards to Whitecloud. Puck deflects up. Jokiharju now flips it over, tries to flip it over to Lehtinen. The Canadians will keep it in, though. And Thomas gives it away. The puck will be sent down the length of the ice. That will be an icing call against Team Finland. Greaves really proving his worth at this turn. I've never heard of the kid before. Yeah, he was always going to be kind of around the Canadian goaltending conversation. He had a really good year this year in Columbus. And so, you were hoping to see him do somewhat similar today, or in this tournament. I think he's done a pretty good job. He's definitely earned his name into the conversation for kind of Olympic considerations over the next 3 years now. And so we'll see kind of if he can earn his stock. And you think about it, for a guy like Jordan Binnington, one of the main reasons why he was so strongly considered is because of his ability to be big in those big games. And for a guy like Greaves, who won't exactly get that opportunity in those Stanley Cup playoffs, with those Blue Jackets not exactly being the most competitive of teams, I think Greaves has a pretty good opportunity here to show what he has when those games do get big. But we will see. Lots of tournament left. We are on a power break right now. It has been, you think about this tournament and just kind of the way it's shaped out to be, there's so many different storylines that I think a lot of people, including myself, are going to take away from. And we'll talk really extensively about that in tomorrow's day recap video as we break down the entire tournament. But there have been so many different storylines from, Great Britain, kind of the absolute worst case scenario for them, where they get relegated but also they just get absolutely embarrassed at this tournament, to teams like Norway, who are now playing for a medal despite we weren't sure whether they were going to be a relegation team or if they're going to be a quarterfinal onward team at this tournament. The wild cards at this tournament have really impressed. I mean, you have Slovenia, who they have shown extremely well. Went out and beat the Czechs, took the Slovak team to overtime, then the shootout. There's been a lot of really impressive stuff for this team. Celebrini lines up against Bjornen for the Finns. Celebrini wins the face-off draw back. Shot from long distance. Blocked up high. The puck will be chipped out. Crosby back to get it for Canada. Annunen back. Over to Heinola, who walks right in front of the net there. Boarded in there. Canada walks out with the puck. DeMello moves it over to Celebrini. Puck comes tipped up and out of play. 12:20 now left to go. In this second period, Canada and Finland both tied at 2 goals apiece. Game's getting a little bit nerve-wracking now as we get ever so much closer to the end of this one. We will see, especially for a team like Canada who has been, I don't want to say not really tested at this tournament, but to be fair, they haven't really been tested to this point in the tournament, especially against like a legitimate team. Yes, they played against the U.S. Yes, they played the Swedes, the Czechs, the Slovaks. But like a team that has the legitimate firepower or like the legitimate defensive capabilities that a team like the Finns, team like Switzerland has, I don't think we've seen them kind of go toe-to-toe in this game. And so we'll see as this one does continue if they can shut the door when they need to, or if they're going to start to kind of let this Finnish team come back in this game. Puck goes dumped down deep. Scheifele first on it for Canada. Puck tied up along the half wall in the Finnish end. Barkov moves it forward over to Granlund. Granlund with the puck tries to force feed it over to Heinola, but the puck gets knocked out. Nurse with the puck in Canada's end. Moves it over to Whitecloud. Whitecloud back to Nurse. Nurse will collect it behind his own net. Over to Whitecloud. Whitecloud with the puck. Moves it forward. Oh, and a bad change there by Canada. 3-on-1 emerging. Shot. Unable to get it through, though. I'm struggling. Oh. Forgive me for whatever that was. DeMello over to Martone. DeMello now. Passes it over to Brown. Loses it. Over to Minton. Minton over to Brown. Brown cycles around. Throws it back. Over to Martone. Behind the net. Taychuk, it's taken down. No call coming. Finland now works back in. 3-on-1 emerging. Ratu with the puck. Slides it over. Shot. Greaves with a nice save on Puljujarvi. Moves it around. And Morgan Riley with the puck. Uh-oh. Turnover. Surprise. Lundell tries it Hamanihaho in the slot. Misses wide of the net. Pustala. Oh, and Riley tie up down low in the corner. Porter Martone loses the puck to Lehtinen. And Hamanihaho with the puck now. Up to Lundell. Lundell cycles it down to Pustala. Over to Lundell. Lundell throws it back out front. Unable to get it through. 10 minutes now to play in the second period. Moves it around. Passes it. Walks with it. Mirla. Back up to the point to Lehtinen. Shot. Looking for a tip in front. Won't get one. Back up to the point again. Shot. Greaves covers up. Good stop there by Jet Greaves. Switzerland playing for gold for the third year in a row and potentially earning their first gold ever is another interesting story. Completely agree on that. I mean, you think about it for the Swiss team, home ice too. How special would it be for them to take home the gold, right? Like, you think about the Czechs 2 years ago, which you're also live for here on YouTube. We'll be live tomorrow to see if the Swiss can take home their gold medal on home ice. But that whole tournament was something extremely special for that Czech team. They had a lot of their best players over, and that was like the all-star team for the Czechs. It probably won't ever get to that same point for this Czech team, at least not in the near future, but it was pretty cool to see. And for the Swiss this year, very similar to that. Outside of Kevin Fiala, who's injured, and Timo Meier, who's going around running guys over, they have everybody on this roster. And, I mean, Meier is also on this team. So I wouldn't say that there's any cause for concern in any aspect. I think really for a team like the Swiss, they're looking for gold, and they have absolutely every reason to think they can. And they've already beat the Finns. They've already they put a really good effort against the Finns. They beat everybody else at this tournament. They've put together 2 really impressive performances in their quarter and semifinal rounds, one against the Swedes, one against the Norwegians. They'll be just fine at this tournament. I don't see that being too much of an issue. We are just about back underway here. Mirala lines up against O'Reilly. O'Reilly with it. Over to Dickinson. DeMello moves it up to Velarde. Velarde cannot chip it in. And the Finns now will collect the puck and work back up ice. Cycles it down. 9:15 left to go in this second period. DeMello gets worked over. And the Finns will pick up back the puck. Mirala for Bjornanen. Takes it. It's tied up down low in the corner. DeMello works up with Mirala. Puck gets flipped up and will go the length of the ice for icing here. 8:44 left to go in this second period. Canada and Finland still tied at 2. The shots in this period are 8-1 for Finland. It hasn't been a great period for this Canadian team. We talked about what they were going to need to do, and their answer back has been rather poor. They have been an extremely good third period team so far at this tournament. I do hope that they can continue that in this game. I think if you can get to this intermission tied, you'll be quite content with that if you are the Canadian team. But we'll see, of course, how it does end up going. Tavares works forward over to Barkov. Granlund now, nice pass to Lenius, all alone, shoots! Where is it? Oh, he kept it out! No goal! Did that go in? Whistle. No goal. No goal. No goal. Oh, and they're celebrating. No. 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 The play's under review. Here we go. Does it count or does it not? And another complete breakdown there. Sam Dickinson did not pick him up. I don't know if that's in or not. It's definitely close. Wait. Oh, it's in. Finland 3, Canada 2. It's 100% over the goal line. Finland gets themselves on the board for a third time in this game. And Canada trails once again. Another defensive breakdown for Canada. Leads to another goal for the Finns. Every time Canada's made a mistake so far in this game, every time, that puck has basically ended up in the back of their net, if not a prime scoring opportunity. This team needs to start cleaning it up. Oh my goodness, this team is so bad. Darnell Nurse walks over the line, fires it around, works it forward. Works it back to Celebrini. Celebrini in need of a goal for this Canadian team. Nurse with it. Spinorama. To Celebrini. Shot. Oh, nearly. That would have been a nice goal if they could have got there. Whitecloud with it. Crosby works back over to Celebrini to Whitecloud. Whitecloud shot from long distance. Where is it? Unable to find it through. And unable to make the stop. Exactly where you don't want to be if you're the Canadian team behind on the Finns, a team well known for their ability to play defense. This is going to be a tough sled back now. How has Canada repeatedly failed to play as a team for several years now? That is a tremendous question. I thought Donskov was the guy who was going to turn this program around too. I mean, I still want to see what the third's going to look like because this Canadian team has been so hot in the third period. That's a hand pass. Riley moves it forward to O'Reilly. The Finns collect it now. Matza moves it forward to Ratu. Now Morgan Riley with it. Can he give it away this time? Guess what he did? Ratu up to Manninen. Manninen slides it over. Shot from long distance. A lot of traffic in front. Rebound. Chance. Scores. Ratu. Oh my God. Ratu scores for the Finns to make it 4-2. And another defensive breakdown for this Canadian team. Oh my God. It's the same issues. Whether it be the men's world championships, whether it be the women's world championship, the Olympics, the women's under 18s, the men's under 18s, every single tournament, it's the same issues. It's another defensive breakdown where your goaltender doesn't know where the puck is because you have the guy walking right down the slot with it. Someone, please, pick him up. Please. Oh my God. Finland 4, Canada 2. What an embarrassment. Absolute embarrassment. Just atrocious. Like how a guy just walks completely in the slot, well alone, and you don't have any response to that. You're watching it. You have like 4 guys all watching this guy walk right down the slot, and you have no one there. That is pathetic. It is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And you call yourself a bunch of NHL players. Huh. Call you guys a bunch of scrubs. Thomas works in for the Canadians now, and that's going to be offside because you can't even know how to skate with your own teammate. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. All right, Donskov, let's see how much longer you're going to be here before you get fired. Absolutely atrocious. You flubbed your way through the preliminary round against teams who you are far better than. And now you go up against a real team, and this is what happens. Ha, 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 ha. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. This Canadian team sucks. This Canadian program sucks. They're going to go a full year because we all know what happens at the Women's World Championships. So we've already written that one off. We know exactly what happens here. They're going to lose. They're going to lose in every tournament so far this year. This is going to be the first year in, I want to say it's 40 years. I could be mistaken on that they haven't won a single gold medal at a tournament in the IIHF across 5 major tournaments. The last time came before the Women's World Championship was even existing. Absolutely atrocious. Atrocious. Atrocious, pathetic, pick your term. Only 3 shots on net for Canada in the second period so far. What a shock. What a shock. But hey, let's start playing useless defense and watch the guy walk down right the slot. The slot. Like, it's one thing if it's like the side shot, right? You're legitimately, all 4 players, watching this guy walk straight down the ice. Defensive breakdown on Ratu's goal. Walk straight down the slot. Defensive breakdown on the third goal. Who they walk straight down the middle. Helenius, all alone. You defeat the defender. You need someone to actually figure that out, that you can stay in that lane. Oh my God. Absolutely terrible. Shots on goal so far in this third period, 10-3 in favor of the Finns for a total of 19-15. Crosby works in for Canada, assistant captain. Puistila for the Finns works in and fires it down deep. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Ratu works it back to Vakanainen. Matza. Puljujärvi. Look, Crosby misses another one. Oh, and Riley now gets burned. Puljujärvi. See who we can lose on this play. Works over. Sarjärvi. Sarjärvi walks the point over to Vakanainen. Throws on the brakes. We'll dump it down low. Riley will lose another puck battle. Manninen with the puck now for the Finns. Up to Sarjärvi. We'll fire it down. And look, someone back actually. Oh, it's Celebrini, of course. Back for the Canadians. And Crosby fires it off the official skate. And 3-on-1 coming back the other way for the Finns. Ratu, oh my goodness, nearly made it 5-2 for the Finns. Puck comes loose. Canada getting hit heavy now. Shot. Where's the puck? Comes up. Puljujärvi back for the Finns. Lundell with it, or Barkov rather, with the puck. Barkov skates around. Over to Lenius. High stick at the line. Canada plays it. Cousins stretch pass up to Tavares. This is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. O'Reilly moves it up to Tavares. Tavares fires it in. Over to Holloway. Tavares gets worked over. Is that Holloway got worked over? Looks like it was Holloway. Puck comes flung around. Stretch pass to Helenius. The puck moves it back up top. Vakanainen now fires it around the boards. Wotherspoon drops off to Matejchuk. Over to Tavares. Works it over to Wotherspoon. Nice saucer pass there to Holloway. Holloway shot. Misses 10 feet wide of the net. Holloway puts it on. Annunen will cover it up. 2:47 left to go in this second period. Canada still trailing 4-2. At least we have curling. Oh, that might be my favorite comment of the day. At least we have curling. Oh. Yeah, at least we have curling. Amen to that. At least let's start thinking positive. At least it's an easy bronze for Canada. It's not even an easy bronze for Canada because they've almost already lost to them. It'd be one thing if they ended up losing. They lost. They should have lost to Norway in their opening game against them. Like, it'd be one thing if they completely won. Like, it'd be one thing if they dominated their game against Norway. They nearly lost to Norway. They were down to the final seconds of that game. They had their goalie pulled and nearly lost to Norway in regulation time. But no, they didn't. They pulled through with the win. Da-da-da-da-da. And they're going to lose to them in the bronze. Guaranteed. If they go to bronze, they're going to lose. It reminds you so much of that 2020 2020. It was 24 when we started doing. Wait, it was 24? Yeah, it was 24 when they lost to Sweden in a game that they showed zero heart in. Absolutely zero heart. Because they don't care. Because they just don't care anymore. It's the issue that's been forever with Canada. No one cares. They just don't care at all. It's the same old issues. Nothing changes. You change the coach, nothing changes. You change the team, nothing changes. You change both. Women's and men's, same thing. You change everything, nothing changes. Connor Brown works in, throws it across ice now. Moves it forward. Scheifele with it now. Works it back up to the point to DeMello. Fired around to Thomas. Connor Brown throws it out front. Hey, you got a penalty. Hey, look at you go. Look at you go. Good for you. Way to go. Connor Brown, delayed penalty coming up, and they get another penalty coming back the other way probably. Canada will go to the power play. Yeah. Woo. Yay. Garbage. Absolute garbage. If you're new here, hit the like button. Makes me feel better. Vote on our poll you think is going to win. Currently have 61% saying the Finns are going to win, and I'd say it should be a whole lot higher. And subscribe. We do a lot of IIHF international hockey content. Cover all things international hockey. So if you like these tournaments, be sure to smash subscribe. Tayachuk works over. Down low, Celebrini back to the top from Tayachuk. Over to Celebrini. Celebrini over to Tayachuk. They play pitter-patter. Celebrini back to Tayachuk. Tayachuk back to Celebrini. Celebrini works over. Scheifele looks across, trying to hit Crosby in the slot. Can't quite find it through. Tayachuk to Barkov. Oh, and there she kept the puck in. Nice. Scheifele with the puck now. Works over to Crosby. Celebrini back up to the line. To Matejchuk. Back to Celebrini. Celebrini walks down to Crosby. My goodness. And the puck that's sent all the way down the ice. Like it has so many times. 1 minute left to go on the Canadian power play. Matejchuk tries to throw it up, and that'll go right onto the Finnish stick. Monumental with it. We'll fire it all the way around the boards. Tayachuk back to get it for Canada as he walks back into his own end. Velarde passes it over to Thomas. Thomas with the puck skates in, hands it off to Velarde. Velarde works it over to Holloway. Holloway with the puck, slides it back up to the point to Thomas. Thomas walks in with it, gets sticked, no call. Back up to the point. Riley can't hold it in. Holloway with the puck now, skates with it. Cycles it back over to Thomas. Robert Thomas with 15 seconds left on the clock. Thomas throws it back up to the point to Riley. Riley back to Thomas. Thomas tries to feed it through, and Velarde whiffs on it. Good opportunity there for not, and that'll do it for the second period here. Canada trails 4-2 against Team Finland. We'll head into our second intermission report between Canada and Finland. Finland leads 4-2 over the Canadian squad. And we're back for another tournament. Another tournament where we're doing the same second intermission. It's the same first intermission, it's the same second intermission. I feel like this has to be deja vu. That's my new thing. I feel like we're just repeating these same terms again and again. I feel like the script of the IIHF is trying to figure out how many times we can do the same thing before someone finally catches on. Same old mistakes. Same old everything. Don't want to stir the pot, but imagine Norway wins the bronze game too. I could. I honestly could. That wouldn't even surprise me. Finally, possibly got our revenge from the Olympics. Well, that's been well coming, especially after the way that tournament ended with questionable call at best, especially at that point in the game. Like, the fact Canada wins that game is honestly a miracle. And the fact they win this game is honestly, if they come back and by some, because you know that they're going to make it close because it's Canada and they never like to lose in these semifinals by a large margin. So they're going to come back, they're going to make it close, and then they're going to choke it late, like we've seen them do it every other tournament. Every single tournament happens the exact same way. So, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. We've said it all before. We've said it at every tournament we've covered. It's the same mistakes. It was the same mistakes at the World Juniors. It's the same mistakes with the men's Olympics, same mistakes at the women's Olympics, same mistakes at the men's under 18s, women's under 18s. This men's World Championship tournament, they started relatively well. I'm not going to say they were great. Relatively well. And then it's just all gone downhill so fast. It's just awful. It's terrible. I don't know. Same mistakes every single year. And you can't, at some point, you're just looking at it and laughing because it's like, I don't know. It's not even like I can say it's the goaltending or it's the attitude. It's like every single thing is terrible. Like nothing works on this team anymore. And everyone's looking around for answers because I don't even think they know what's wrong with this team. And it's not just a team thing. And that's the part that concerns me the most. Because if it was a team thing, it could be isolated. It could be the World Juniors. Sure, you blow it against the Czechs every year, fine. It's a World Juniors issue. So be it. I can live with that. But when it's a full program-wide issue where it's year after year after year after year after year of the same mistakes, at what point do you have to go back to the drawing board and say there is something wrong with this team? Because there's absolutely something wrong with this team. It's a nationwide issue. Doesn't matter whether it's an under 18 tournament, doesn't matter whether it's a U20 or a world championship or an Olympic tournament. Doesn't matter whether it's a men's tournament or a women's tournament. This Canadian team, this Canadian program sucks. So bad. So bad. I don't know. I'm out of words. I'm honestly out of words at this point. Like, it's the same issues. Tournament after tournament after tournament. And I'm just getting to that point now where I don't know what needs to change. We said it was an attitude issue. I don't think it's an attitude issue anymore because clearly they've changed their attitude for this tournament and they still suck. And once again, I can appreciate it. I'm not saying, like, I want to make sure this is well known. Canada was an underdog coming into this game. I don't mind that they are losing. I don't mind that they're losing this game. In fact, I was expecting them to lose this game, right? You can watch the start of this live stream. We said the same thing. My issue comes from the fact that they are playing some of the worst defensive hockey of this entire tournament. Their offense looks like it cannot shoot the puck if its life's dependent on it. It's the fact that I don't even know what is happening. Like, it's not one, it's everything. It's not one thing anymore. It's not one thing. It's not one program. It's not one team. It's everything. And it's everything to do with the Canadian, it's everything to do with that logo. It's everything to do with this logo. It's everything to do with this logo. It's everything to do with the Canadian hockey program. And so I don't know. Something needs to be done. I thought it was the coaching that would make the difference. Misha Donskov goes in. Maybe that makes a difference. Did we think it would? Meh. It makes some difference, sure. But now, again, we are back in the same part that we have been all tournament long. The Canadian team sucks. They're terrible. The entire international year, it's been the same thing. And the beautiful part is that we've covered every double IHF tournament. In every tournament, they've lost. And so, I don't know. They haven't won gold since the U18 men's. So far this year, they've lost in the quarters at the Under-18 Men's World Championship. They won bronze at the U20s on the men's side. Their U18 program on the women's side came second to the U.S. Their Olympic programs both came second to the U.S. Their U18 we talked about the U18 program. Like, the Women's World program's coming up later on this year. That is going to be disappointing. Because you know what's going to happen, because it's the same issue. It doesn't matter whether it's the Men's World Championship, the Women's World Championship. It's all the same. Canada sucks. They're actually terrible. They're so bad. But it's the same issues. And I wish I could say it wasn't. Like, I wish I could just say it's a tournament issue, or it's an attitude issue that needs to be changed, or it's a certain combination of players that's the issue. But no, you allow players, it doesn't matter what tournament it is, to walk straight through the slot area, one-on-one with the goaltender, and you're watching. You have all four guys around the puck watching. Like, at what point do you expect something to change? Oh, I want to hear this one. Celebrini's getting interviewed right now. I have a whole lot of nothing. Selling Macklin Celebrini. I got a whole lot of nothing. Captain Canada now. Watch me play. Absolutely awful. This team has been utterly pathetic. The last 2 years at the Men's World Championships in particular, the third year you can add on top of that, because after what happened at that tournament, they should all be ashamed of themselves. You walk into this tournament, no heart, no care. And why? Why are you here? Like, if you're going to make the trip, it's not a short trip to Switzerland. Why would you make the trip if you're not going to come to play? Like, what's the point of that? Genuinely, what's the point of that? There is no point to that. And I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. So, and I mean, I'm honestly, like, the fact that there is also the Women's World Championship too, that's coming up at the end of the season, that, like, I will be honest, I'll be completely honest here. I consider the Women's World Championship the next cycle anyway, now that it's in November. Canada's gone a full international season without a championship or a gold medal. They've lost both Olympic runs this year. We were live for most of those games. And I feel like we were live for the U18s too, where Canada lost to the Swedes. I just don't know. Canada started sucking as soon as we stopped producing goalies. Carey Price was the last goalie. Like, I guess so, but, like, the goaltending just isn't the, like, don't get me wrong, the goaltending isn't great. The goaltending can bail you out of games, right? And I'm not going to say that they can't, but, like, the fact is for Canada that you can't rely upon your goaltender to make a stop when you allow chance after chance that come straight down the middle of the ice. They come all alone on breakaways. I don't know. I just don't know. It's the same issues. Nothing changes. Tournament after tournament, embarrassment after embarrassment. And at some point, you go back to the drawing board. And they've tried everything. New management doesn't work. New coaching doesn't work. And so the next 20 minutes for me, at this point, I could care less if Canada goes out and wins this game. In fact, I don't care. I want to see the Canadians give a damn. And if they can give a damn, fine. They lose, whatever. If they play like they did in that second period and this third period, I don't know. We're gonna have so many words in our day recap video. Like you don't understand how many words we're gonna have in our day recap video. If they follow that up by then losing, if they lose to Norway in the bronze medal game, you absolutely can't blame the goalie. No, you're 100% right. You cannot blame the goalie. I get the feeling that every tournament Canada still thinks they're a lock for the goal just because they're Canada, those days are over. Anything can happen. I agree. And to be honest, I didn't think Canada would win gold. I had them. The only reason why I had them even in the gold medal game is because they didn't have to play either of these two teams. But then we got into this and then we said, no, Finland's going to take it. But it's not my problem. Like my problem isn't that they're losing this game. I don't care that they're losing this game. They were supposed to lose this game. It's the way that they're losing. Because that, for me, is a lot more alarming. The fact that we're on another tournament now with zero care in the world that they're losing a game to this magnitude in embarrassing fashion due to a lack of attention to detail, a lack of picking up the open guy who's walking straight down the slot. At some point, you need to figure something out because this is it's just embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. Like I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. And so the best part, and what I'm gonna love here in about an hour's time, as this game starts to conclude, is that Canada's about to come back in this game. They're about to win, and then there's a decision for me to make. Do I yell about this team and this program now, like in our today's day recap video? Do I yell it in tomorrow's day recap video? Because we all know how this works, right? Canada comes back, they tie the game. It makes everyone who's yelling at them in the middle of this game look stupid. Like myself. Because frankly, I am. Okay? I can live with it. But I don't know. This is another tournament where you just can't. You can't describe, like, and I appreciate that a lot of our viewers are not Canadian, especially at this tournament in particular, where we have some of the best international numbers out of all of them. But like, I don't know how to describe it. And that's the part that it's difficult. Because it's like, for Canada, yes, right? You think about it for a team like, say, a Latvia, for example, right? Where they're not necessarily expected to go and take home a medal. And when they do, it's amazing, right? I don't know how to describe that when you walk into just about every tournament and you are either basically gold or bust. Where if you don't win gold, you feel like you got knocked out of the quarterfinals or you didn't make the playoff rounds. Like, that's kind of the feeling. And like, we're starting to get to the point now where I'm worried every time Canada loses a game early in the tournament. Like the U18s, I was genuinely scared that they were going to get relegated because I actually had that feeling that they might. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Finland's currently trailing, or Finland's leading 4-2 over Canada right now. Second intermission. Like button, please hit it. Hit subscribe as well. We are going to have a lot of words tonight in our recap video. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And so I have a feeling today we will be getting quite a few comments from all of our friends all over the globe. But yeah, as far as what to expect in the third, you're probably going to see Canada wake up a little bit. We've seen them do that all tournament. We've actually been on a few different live streams for Canada so far at this tournament. I'm trying to think back. Canada-Sweden, they kind of woke up in that third. Canada-Denmark, they woke up in the third. Canada-Italy, they woke up through basically that entire game. They weren't too bad in that one. Canada-Slovakia, were we live for that game? Were we live for Canada-Slovakia? I think we were. Pretty sure we're live for Canada-Slovakia. Weren't we live for Canada-Slovakia? We might have been live for Canada-Slovakia. I can't remember. It was a while ago. No, we definitely were. We were definitely live for Canada-Slovakia. Yeah. Every game, they've come alive in that third period. So we'll see if it's going to be more of the case. They will start on the power play for, I think it's like 3 seconds or 5 seconds. We won the Four Nations. Say what you want about us. The best hockey in decades. That term felt bigger than all these tournaments. Fair. Yeah. Yeah, that was a cool tournament. But even that, it's like, that's not a real tournament. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Back underway, third period action here, Canada and Finland. As the power play will expire. See what the answer back is here for the Canadians if they're coming out with a vengeance in this one. Granlund takes it, swings it around. To Barkov or to Linus. Granlund with the puck. Wheels it around. Figure it out. Celebrini over to Crosby. Nice play back to Celebrini. As Latvian, I say go Finland. Canada looks bad. Sorry, they really do. They've looked terrible really all game long. Works out. Shot. Glove save by Annunen there. Clock ticking away now on this Canadian team as they're trying to hold on as best they can because they put themselves in a real good spot by allowing guys to go right down the slot. And they allow players to go right along on a breakaway. You put the best players on the ice, you're going to not be able to make those kind of mistakes, especially against a team like Finland, who is one of the best teams here. But you know what? Why don't we just keep doing it? Because maybe, just maybe they might miss one of them. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Holloway worked over in the corner. Slides it over to Thomas. Thomas with the puck. Wheels it out. Over to Lundell. Lundell with the nice saucer pass there. Over to DeMello. To Holloway. Throws it around. Holloway now works back in. Shot. Misses wide of the net. Riley throws it across ice. Dickinson with it. Passes it back to Riley. Riley shot. Turned away. Heinola. Over to Thomas. Back to Heinola. Heinola now works up for the Finns. Passes it forward. That puck will be dumped down deep. Canada will go back and get it. Clock continuing to tick down on the Canadian team. 18 now left to play in the period. Matza plays it for the Finns. Tavares works it over. Tavares tries to throw it to the front of the net. Puck gets cleared away. Ratu back for the Finns. Ratu shot. Greaves gloves it down. Okay. Wasn't my prediction Switzerland 1, Finland 2, and Canada 3 from the start. Those were my power rankings for this tournament. But the way that the standings matched up after the semis or after the quarters had Switzerland and Finland playing each other in the semis, and so because of that we had Canada in the second spot. Although, I mean, I'd say that we knew coming in, and we said it in our prediction, like Canada was the third best team at this tournament. We said it as well in each of their team previews. Like the Finns, in my eyes, were always going to be that first or second best team. Like the Finns and the Swiss were so tight on paper that it could have really went either way, but shot, misses wide of the net. You just knew that it was going to be pretty close. Velarde works around over to Mirala and chipped out. 2-on-1 emerging, coming back the other way, and Oh, what a nice save there by Greaves. Talk about getting bailed out by your goaltender. Greaves, another good stop there. Big reason why this team is as close as they are right now, which makes you laugh, but it's true. Wotherspoon throws it over to Crosby in the skates. Wotherspoon now throws it over to Nurse. Nurse walks in with it. Yay! Darnell Nurse throws it around the boards. To Celebrini, and the puck gets picked up and worked back up the other way by Team Finland. Granlund, weird play there at the line. Not sure if that'll be looked back upon in a few minutes if it goes in. Crosby moves it up to Darnell Nurse. Nurse passes it over to Cousins. Cousins with it now, throws it across. Crosby looking for the backdoor feed, unable to get it through, and that puck will come up and out of play. If you are new here, please do hit the like button. It makes me feel better as a Canadian getting my team absolutely spanked every year. As well as subscribe so you can see us Canadians at the next tournament. You can actually see us tomorrow lose our minds against Norway, because we all know how that game's going to go. We'll be live for that game starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Central European. Yeah, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Central European, 4:30 p.m. Eastern European time. Puck comes out. The pressure has been there for Canada in this third period, but unfortunately, when you're trailing by 2 goals, pressure isn't enough. Scheifele works in. Thomas over to Scheifele. Holloway works in now. Giveaway at the line, but Thomas unable to get there. And Morgan Rielly will come back for Canada. Plays it forward. Oh, a nice kick play there to Thomas to get it on his stick. Tries to feed it back, but Mannanen back for the Finns. And they'll work back in. Another really well played play there. So cycle it around. And the puck will be cleared the length of the ice down. Canada will be charged with the icing there. Icing call comes back into the Canadian end as another one where you're just looking at it. Oh, and there's an elbow call there missed on DeMello. Or on Puljujarvi on DeMello. Should have been a call, but I mean that doesn't really matter because the Canadian power play has looked awful pretty much all game long as well. So I don't think the power play is going to help them all that much, especially at this point. Thomas and Lundell line up in the face-off dot. Works it over to Dickinson. Over to Holloway. Works it around. Over to Minton. Scheifele. Loses the puck. Over to Mata. Mata flings it around. Passes it around. Puck comes loose. Down to the boards for Dickinson. Dickinson now. Down to Celebrini. Celebrini hands it off there. 2-on-1 involving. Shot. And an in with a great stop on Minton, who was all alone in front of the net. Cannot bury it. But some good pressure here by the Canadians over the last few minutes. They have been definitely getting their looks, which has been good, but still just not enough. Need to be better. And as we said, we were expecting some pushback here. I left you a pity sub. I appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. Pity subs, all the same. Minton in the face-off dot. Wins it back. Celebrini gets worked over. We'll fling it around. Is that Connor Brown? Have they just completely mashed the lines here? Looks like it. Minton shot from long distance, turned away by Annanen. Brown now throws it back up to Rielly. Oh, another turnover by Morgan Rielly, and the puck comes back up ice. Mirala now will flip it up. As the Finns, one ends up on their backside as they'll shift back up ice now. Connor Brown works in, drops it off. That could have been offside. Heinola tries to feed it back against the grain, but the Finns, once again, try and look up ice with it. A nice keep in there by DeMello. And the Canadians now, a nice pass there. Darnell Nurse with it. Nurse shot, misses wide of the net. And the puck will be cleared back out to center ice. Shot around. Heinola with the puck for Team Finland as it's tied up down in the corner. Jokiharju with it, looks up ice, over to Helenius. Slides it around. And the puck be cleared out to center. Velarde with it. Hands it off. White Cloud shot from distance. Rebound. Oh, and a nice save by Annunen. Oh my God, 3 great saves by Annunen there. Tavares. Yeah, this Canadian team isn't coming back today. Annunen makes the Canadians just look funny. What a stop. We are going to take a quick break. We got to plug in our computer. So we'll be back in like 2 seconds. Be right back. And we're back. Yeah, that was a good stop there for Annunen. But we'll see. Did JT lose his A on his sweater? Did he today? Yeah, he did. Because he's in a rotation with the other 2 assistants with Crosby and O'Reilly. So with Crosby coming in, they gave him an A out of pity because you have to give Crosby an A. But, I mean, Tavares with some great opportunities there just could not bury it. But, like, as we kind of talked about, right, you knew that this was coming for the Canadians. Like, you knew this push was coming, but you have to wonder, where has it been all game long? So Mannanen now works in for the Finns. Mannanen passes it over to Ratu. Loses it. And slides it back around. Sam Dickinson tries to skate up fast. Poor guy. Wotherspoon fires it down. Canadians going after it. Scheifele and Thomas working down low. Thomas over to Holloway. Holloway gets knocked over, and the puck will be shot right back up and hack into neutral ice. Canadians work in now. Thomas tries to get it over to Scheifele. Can't do it. It's going to be another tournament of the same old issues with Canada. Every single year, we do the same thing. Every time. Every time. You think one year they'd go, oh, maybe we should actually try and win a tournament. Huh. Oh my God. Turnover. Comes back the other way. Hamanihaho drops it off. Burns him. And wow, that shot did not go in the back of the net. I am stunned. Absolutely stunned. 4-2 your score. Finland still in lead. Nice hit there by Nurse. And Celebrini works in, looking for a backdoor feed. Can't find it there. Rebound. Cousins tied up in front of the net. Won't be able to get to that. Heinola will dump it down. White Cloud. Nurse gets high sticked. Looks like he's embellishing that call. They'll play it forward. Nurse still with the puck. Gets to the line, shoots it. No icing call. Velarde with it. Shots on goal for this period. 5-2 in favor of Canada. Shocked it's that low, actually. Feels like it's been a lot more of a dominant period from the Canadians. DeMello works over to Riley. Riley looks up ice now. Riley will flip it back up. And Riley will just ice the puck instead of actually trying to play hockey. But that's okay, because it's Morgan Riley. Our Latvia players mostly don't go only if they are having a kid or injured. Yeah, well. Yeah, not Canada. They decided that this tournament just doesn't matter anymore. Actually, Canada's decided none of the tournaments actually matter anymore. They just keep deciding they want to lose them. But whatever, teach their own. Riley with it now. Sends it up to Holloway. Or Tavares, rather, with O'Reilly. And O'Reilly loses the puck, and back come up the Finns. Riley with it. Stretch pass now to Velarde. Velarde will dump it down. In comes Tavares. Dickinson with it. Tries to fling it around. Mata. Where's the puck? There it is. We hit the 10-minute mark now. Left to go in this third period. Dickinson walks in, shoots right in the breadbasket. 9:59 left to go now in the third. We will see whether or not. I don't even know. What do we got here? Shots are tied up now, at least. I was fighting with some people in the comments the other day about whether shots are actually important. And I'm still someone who believes shots don't matter at all. You can always tell. Like, this game has been so... Like, I wouldn't say this game has been back and forth despite the shots being tied. Like, each team has kind of taken their own period in this. I wouldn't say this game has necessarily been all that close, especially with the way that the score works. It means Finland isn't going to go for any attacks in this period, so it's not necessarily the most accurate stat for this game. I feel like Canada sent a better team than many in this tournament, though. U.S.'s team was more bare for sure. Finland's missing a large majority of their guys, too, for sure. But, I mean, you also look at who's there, and the Finns definitely have a better team than Canada. The Swiss definitely have a better team than Canada. I mean, that's what you're looking for, right? Like, you're expecting that, especially for these tournaments. So, I don't know. We'll see. If you are new here, please do smash the like button. Just hit subscribe. As the Finnish fans and the Swiss fans, there are quite a few of them there, quite happy. Bjornanen lines up in the face-off dot. Celebrini on the other side, and the Finns win the draw. Letton with it. Move it up. Fires it back over to Jokiharju. Over to Greaves. To Riley. To Crosby. Crosby tries to feed it forward. Can't. Riley with it. Riley sends it forward. Puck tipped in. Sends it along. Sends it forward. No one there. Riley fires it down and around. Crosby throws it out front. No one there. 9:20 left to go in the third. Time continuing to tick down on this Canadian team. 2-goal lead. Canadians looking to try and come back from a 2-goal lead in the semifinals. Yes, that's funny because they did that at the Olympics. That's why I'm laughing. White Cloud with it. Over to Nurse. 9-minute mark now. Sends it around. And then to play it for Canadians. Nothing going. Granlund flip it back up to neutral ice. Holloway jumping catch, and he'll start to work back in for Canada. The Canadians not really being able to get through this Finnish defensive system yet, which, I mean, not surprising, but Vakanainen fires it around over to Holloway. Holloway gets boarded there. And back up come the Finns. That's offside. Helenius over with Pustola. Nurse with it. Takes it, drops it off to White Cloud. Over to Tavares. Tavares stretch pass now. Over to Scheifele. Scheifele flips it over. Works in. Shot. Hits off the blocker there. Dickinson with that chance. O'Reilly It's tied up there. Mata, 8 minutes now to go in this period. Clock continuing to tick down on the Canadian team. Stretch pass, Ryan O'Reilly. Moves it. Where's the stick? Takes it. Wotherspoon fires it around. And won't be able to be kept at the line. The Finns work back in the other way. And Holloway with a very bad defensive play there. Connor Brown. So the one guy I think should be getting a lot of minutes here is Connor Brown. Puljujarvi, Ratu. Flips it in. Riley sends it around to DeMello. DeMello over to Minton. Minton passes it over to Riley. Riley, that might have been offside too. Riley passes it over. Puistola and Minton come together in the corner. Puck gets flipped up and out. 7 minutes now to go. Clock ticking very quickly for this Canadian team. Minton with it. Oh my gosh, this team is so bad. Celebrini tries to feed it forward. DeMello sends it over to Celebrini. Celebrini moves, shot, misses way wide of the net, or way over the net, and that'll be out of play. 6:30 left to go in this third period. Time continuing to tick down on the Canadian squad today. What a disappointment. This has been a disappointing tournament. At least they've come out in this third a little bit better. That makes me somewhat happy, but man. Brutal. Currently in our poll, 293 votes registered. Finland in the lead, 68% to 32. Saudi moves it forward. Barkov with it now, works in. Barkov tied up there by Scheifele. Has to be careful not to get a penalty. A penalty would just about sink this Canadian team at this rate. It's Holloway now with it. Over to Nurse. Nurse takes it. Nurse is looking up ice. Finds his guy. Here comes Thomas. Throws it over to the corner to Scheifele. And Scheifele loses the puck to Barkov. Thomas works in. Shot. Bouncing puck. Need a bit of a lucky bounce here. Thomas throws it out to the front. Oh my goodness. What a great play. And the Canadians will fire it back down into their own end here. Stretch pass. Trying to hit Holloway on the tip in. Misses. Hamihaho back for the Finns. Skates around him. Over to Lundell. Lundell works in. Tries to spin shot. Can't find it through. And now Celebrini will work back up for the Canadian team. Celebrini gets to the line and fires it down deep. Crosby with it. Crosby over to Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon sends it over to Dickinson. Dickinson shot. Blocked up high again. Dickinson fires it over to Celebrini. Celebrini across the line. Wotherspoon sends it around down to Cousins. Crosby first on that puck for Canada. Crosby cycles it back to Dickinson. Dickinson waits, shoots, saved by Annunen. 4:58 left to go as we head to what should be the final power break of this game. We should check in on our chat. We haven't done that in quite a while, actually. Oh, wow, we really haven't. Whoa. Yeah, no, we have really not. My apologies. What is Canada looks like kids? Yeah. Where am I watching the match? TSN in Canada, NHL Network in the US, and if you're from Europe, they probably have a link. Are those the same jerseys from the Olympics? They are not. They are fairly similar, but they are a different shade of blue. I think Finland and Swiss have been the two best teams this year. Absolutely, they have been. I would have to agree. I mean, the Finns and the Swiss were always going to be the two best teams at this tournament, but not that badly. So we'll see. Final few minutes here. Canada and Finland. Reminder, we'll be having our full day recap video coming out later tonight. So be sure to smash the subscribe button, hit the like button. That video will come out around 12 o'clock p.m. midnight. Potentially it could be a little bit later tonight as well. We will have to see. But 12 o'clock midnight Eastern time, 6 o'clock p.m. 6 o'clock a.m. Central European time, and 7 a.m. Eastern European time for our semifinal recap. We will also be live for both gold and bronze medal games tomorrow, so be sure to tune in for those. Here we go. Celebrini works in, wins the face-off draw. Cousins first on it for the Canadian. Celebrini will rim it around. Over to Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon will chip it in. Over to Celebrini. Celebrini with the puck. Passes it over to Cousins. Cousins throws on the brakes. Puck comes straight up, and that'll go out of play. Clock ticking away on this Canadian team. They still need 2. You can expect the goaltender to start thinking about making his way to the bench here. We'll see at what point they decide to do that. Who do I think will win? I think, like at the start of the day, I still think the Finns will come out on top, but we'll have to see. Thomas lines up against Ratu. Scheifele back to the point. Shot from distance, looking for the rebound. Chance. Puck comes bouncing in, but unable to get there. Holloway throws on the brakes. Feeds it over to Scheifele. Thomas tries to feed it forward. Holloway there. Tried to do a back foot shot. Never quite got through. Bounces. Shot. On the side of the net, not able to get through. 4:15 left to go in this third period. Finns break a stick. Oh no, what a terrible play there. Nurse just throws it at the net and loses possession. 4 minutes now to go. Clock ticking away on this Canadian team. Dickinson back for the Canadians. Shots on goal in the third period, 9-2, the push we were all anticipating from the Canadians. But fortunately, you can't make those kind of mistakes against a team like the Finns because you can't score. It's tough to score goals, let alone 2 of them in this third period when you have this Finnish team just sitting in their structure. And Riley can't keep the puck in at the line either. 3:30 left to go in this third period. Goaltender starts to get looked at if you are the Canadians. We'll see at what point Greaves does decide to go. Riley drops it back. Over to Velarde. Shot from long distance, looking for a tip in front. Can't get it. Granlund now will chip it back up to neutral ice. And you can expect Greaves to slowly but surely start making his way towards the Canadian net now. As the puck will be chipped down in the Canadian end. 3 minutes left to go in this third period. Canada trying to hold on. Celebrini with it. Walks on in. Feeds it across. Slides it around. Lundell. Canada has pulled their goaltender here. To Scheifele. Scheifele gives it up at the line. Finland will come back in and... Oh, and they missed the net. Okay. Still a chance here. Nurse with the puck. Fires it over to Celebrini. I honestly thought that was going to go in. Over to Thomas. Feeds it over to Scheifele. Scheifele rims it around the boards over to O'Reilly. O'Reilly back up to Crosby. Crosby to the point to Riley. Back up to Crosby. Cross Celebrini shot, looking for a rebound in front. Can't quite find it through. The Finns will shoot it for the empty net. Misses wide of the net. Exactly 2 minutes left to go now in this period. As Canada looking for 2 goals late here. Try and tie this one up. Oh, and Nurse nearly was able to sneak that one through. Off the weird carom off the boards. Oh, he was so close. His Nurse watching it on the bench. Cannot believe how close he was. 2 minutes left to go in this period. Canada down 2 goals with the goalie pulled. Face-off incoming. O'Reilly in the face-off dot for Canada. Ratu in the face-off dot for the Finns. Riley over to Scheifele. Scheifele with it now. Passes it down to Thomas. Thomas back to Scheifele. Scheifele's shot misses up over the net. That'll go out of play. 1:49 left to go in this third period. So Canadians giving their instructions from the bench here. O'Reilly back in the face-off dot against Ratu. Ratu using his hand basically to win back the draw. He's basically being a lacrosse player. It's not a bad tactic if you don't get caught with it. Ratu now works in for the Finns. Oh, and a nice defensive stop there by O'Reilly. And Morgan Riley now will take the puck back for Canada. 1:30 left to go in the third. Finland looking as if they'll head to the gold medal game tomorrow. Ryan O'Reilly cycles it over to Crosby. Crosby back up to the point to Riley. Feeds it forward to Crosby now. Crosby with the puck to Celebrini. Shot from long distance looking for a tip in front. Crosby passes it behind the net over to Thomas. Thomas with it now. Thomas looking for the backdoor feed. Won't get there. The puck will be fired the length of the ice down. That will go for icing. 1:09 left to go now in this third period. Goaltender still pulled for Canada, as they should probably call a timeout here. Timeout called from the Canadians. Okay. Timeout called by Team Canada. We are entering the final minute and a bit left to go in this one. If you are new here, please do smash the like button, hit subscribe. We're going into the dangerous moments of this game. Canada looking for 2 goals here against Team Finland. We will see whether or not they can find their way in this one. Greaves will start on the bench for Canada. And here we go. Can't take it anymore. Genuinely can't take it anymore. This team is going to be the death of me. Goalie pulled for Team Canada. Ryan O'Reilly against Ratu. Ratu's hands basically in the face-off dot here. And he doesn't win this one. Canada able to take this one. Scheifele with it now. To the front. Oh, nearly able to jam that home. Final minute of play now in this period. Celebrini works in. Over to Scheifele. Shot. Loose, and that should do it. Oh, the Finns won't go for the empty net. They'll just chip it out. Riley back for Canada. Needs a quick play up here. 45 seconds left to go in the third. We'll shoot it down. We'll go in and try and chase it. Mata back for the Finns. Canada able to keep it in, though. Oh, weird rebound play there. Riley back behind the net. Celebrini works, shoots, misses wide of the net. Everything to the front of the net now if you're Canada. And that puck will comes out. That'll do it. 20 seconds left to go. This one ticks away on Canada's tournament. As the Finns bleed out this clock. 10 seconds left to go. And that'll do it. Finland will head to the gold medal game where they will play Switzerland tomorrow for a chance to reclaim their throne on top of the Men's World Championship rankings. Canada goes home disappointed after a brutal second period filled with a lot of defensive breakdowns, a lot of mental mistakes, and that'll do it. That does it today for Canada. A reminder, we'll be live for both Canada and Norway tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern as well. We'll be live for gold at 2:20 p.m. I believe is the time slot for that one between Switzerland and Finland. So I do hope to see everybody there for that. A big thank you to everyone for tuning in. We have given our fair share of thoughts on this game. It hasn't really changed all that much. We'll talk more about it tonight in our day recap video, but What a disappointment at this tournament for Canada. Yeah. Trying to decide whether I want to save my words for our day recap tonight or if it's better served now. We do have a lot to talk about. Canada, we'll see. You'll be for us tomorrow, right? Well, I did say at the start of the tournament that my bets were always on the Swiss to pull through with the victory. We had, in our prediction, we had 3-2 Switzerland over Finland in overtime. When it came playoff time, that was the semifinal match too, and I think that still will be very similar. But credit to the Finns today. When they got their opportunity, they buried it. And yeah, that one's a tough one to swallow. Wow. And so it sets up tomorrow. Tomorrow, once again, will be Finland and Switzerland for gold, Canada and Norway for bronze. We will have our coverage for that, day recap for the semifinal day. A lot to talk about in Canada and Finland. Not really that much talk about in Switzerland and Norway, but we'll do it its justice as well. A big thank you to everyone for tuning into this live stream today. It wasn't exactly what we had hoped. It's what we had expected, to be fair, but not exactly what we had hoped. Yeah. Finland pulls through 4-2 win over Canada. Canada makes a lot of mental mistakes, allows players through the slot, walking alone completely, doesn't pick up a guy walking down on a breakaway. That does that one. A few other mental mistakes that end up costing them, a few costly giveaways. Just stuff you can't do against a good team. And we knew coming in that this team was going to struggle against good competition because, frankly, they haven't really played it yet. Norway's decent. Czechs and Swedes have a good roster, but they're not anything to the level of the Finns or the Swiss. So we knew it was going to be a tough road to do it, but I don't know. I just don't know. Another tournament of absolute disappointment here for us. We don't get the same as last year, as the last time we saw a semifinal between Finland and Canada where we were live. We got to see Nathan MacKinnon score, but there will be no gold medal for Canada at this tournament. Not this year, at least. We'll see whether or not that will change as the years go along. But for right now, it's another year of just heartbreak for Canada. And then next year, it'll be in Germany. We're actually hoping to be there for that tournament. So we might, if you are interested in kind of on-the-ground coverage of that tournament, be sure to subscribe. Hoping to get to a couple of the games over there because we'll be over there for school. So stay tuned. A lot of content still coming out. But, man, another tournament. Another year. It's just the entire year. No, it's just another year of disappointment for Canada. They end up losing. Lose badly today. Swiss, we can pull off the empty net sign for now. Your finals, as far as your updated playoff picture, Finland takes on the Swiss tomorrow for gold. Canada will play Norway for bronze as the Finns will sing their anthem here, and we will wait to see who pulls through tomorrow for gold. But Canada will walk away from this international season without a gold medal, and we will have a very long wait until the Women's World Championship coming up in November. World Juniors, December, January. Women's under 18s, January. Men's under 18s, April again. Men's World Championships in May. What to keep an eye on? That's what we got. Another international season come and gone for Canada. And unfortunately this year, it's just been, this has been it. This entire game has been what this season has been for Canada. And so, I don't know. I don't know what's next for Canada. I really don't. But whatever it's going to be, I'm sure it'll end in heartbreak. And I think that's a good way to leave it off. Absolute heartbreak for Canada. An international season come and gone. 2 extra tournaments that we got with both women's and men's Olympic Games. We lost a tournament with Women's Worlds, but this international season, a bronze medal at the World Juniors, silver at the women's under 18s, women's and women's Olympics, silver medal, losing both to the Americans, and then Finland, Sweden in the men's under 18s quarterfinals, and then now Finland knocks Canada out in the semis. They'll play for bronze tomorrow, where we'll see what the consolation prize is. We will see whether this Norwegian team can once again pull off one last big upset at this tournament. But I do want to give a very, very big thank you to everyone for watching today. That will do it. If you made it this far on the live stream, thank you for watching. If you liked it, drop a like. If you really liked it, consider subscribing. And tell all your friends that Canada sucks at hockey. Until next time, see ya.